Mind reading is no longer a fantasy. We can actually do that now, and the secret sauce is artificial intelligence.
New research shows that the tech can help read people's private thoughts.
Researchers have used AI to translate brain scans into text and turn it into what looks like inner dialogue.
I worry that there's a future that we're just not ready for.
This is an image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing.
What?
Yeah. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Got one that can see.
Hundreds of people in the valley say they are hearing voices in their heads. And those voices are being transmitted by microwave or other methods.
Well, several viewers asked us to investigate what they call electronic harassment. KMIR 6's Angela Monroe joins us now with what she's discovered. Angela.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms, but after searching the internet, I found dozens of websites dedicated to the phenomenon and several Valley residents who say they're victims.
How much more can you invade me than to go into my brain?
It sounds like somebody else is reading the book, only it's thoughts.
We're not having a group hallucination. This is actually something that's happening.
These men all live in the area, didn't know each other before the voices started, and say someone is playing mind games with them.
Mostly it's a lot of derogatory comments about whatever you're thinking about.
Only time I ever had a whole sentence, he said, "This is not about you," which just frosted me. If it's not about me, what the hell am I going through all this for?
Kevin Bond says he used to have a normal life.
I was living in the San Diego area, was clerking for a federal judge, and I noticed that I was being followed by a whole bunch of people.
According to the websites, what Bond is describing is called gang stalking. He moved to Palm Springs to escape.
I started hearing, as you'll hear, hearing voices and what they'll call voice to skull or microwave hearing.
Bob Stansfield says his experience was similar and started a decade ago.
They were active in following me around here, and I started hearing the voices a little bit after the vehicular stalking.
Randall Ringer says the voices started when he was undergoing chemotherapy.
The first thing that was said was Randall Ringer. And I sat up straight and I went to into the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, looked myself in the eyes, and I said, did that really happen?
Bond says he's found more than 300 victims locally and is tracking others across the state through billboards. In Johnson Valley, a Freedom House just opened to help people who believe they are being targeted.
To many of you who find yourselves the object of covert harassment, that there is hope and that you are not alone, and that we are striving to find legislation and we're working towards freedom for all.
Derek Robinson leads a national group called Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance. He says he knows who's playing mind games.
Rogue government officials.
Today, scientists are already analyzing the mechanics of thought and creating real-life mind-reading machines.
Once you peer into the mind, it can add a whole new layer, other dimensions to the way we communicate with each other. Why do we have wars? Why do we have race riots? Why do we have such injustice committed against our fellow human being? In part, is because we don't know who they are. We fear them. What happens if we can see into their thoughts? Realize that they too have hopes and dreams.
Scientists will soon be tearing down the barriers and protections between everyone on the planet with mind-reading machines. The prototype for a true mind-reading device is being developed here at New York University's Center for Neuroscience.
Okay, so let's start the experiment.
Dr. David Popel is decoding electrochemical patterns in the brain known to laymen as thought. It could be the breakthrough that exposes our most intimate secrets to the world.
Advances in artificial intelligence are leading to medical breakthroughs once thought impossible, including devices that can actually read minds and alter our brains to help treat conditions like anxiety, Alzheimer's.
But that technology raises privacy concerns. That's why Colorado passed a first-of-its-kind law aimed at ensuring our private thoughts remain private.
Everyone, believe it or not, you can buy devices on the internet right now that can, to varying degrees, decode your brain waves. And the technology being developed by the likes of Elon Musk, Apple, Meta, and OpenAI can change, enhance, and control your thoughts, emotions, even your memories. It's the dawn of a new era filled with promise and peril.
But now, artificial intelligence language models are providing a new breakthrough to interpret that brain information. New research shows that the tech can help read people's private thoughts, that the science plus the tech enables mind reading. Let me say that news again, because sometimes around here we just report the news, we run right through it, and you kind of need to realize what we're learning. And I'm going to show you exactly what we mean by this, but researchers are accurately performing some human mind reading. They can translate a person's brain activity into a continuous stream of text. So then that text corresponds to what the researchers can determine people are thinking. And this is from formal results from a research team at the University of Texas at Austin. Now, the new option raises all kinds of possibilities. One of the first is a medical priority, that this can enable people who are currently paralyzed or completely physically impaired to basically get a brand new lease on communicating. The researchers focused on picking up attempted speech of people who have lost the ability to speak, or using these tools to help paralyzed people, in a sense, write by thinking of writing. So the tech is using scans of brain blood flow, and it basically trains this translator or this decoder of that brain information. And they do this by having participants consume videos to map their reactions and basically the intended words their brain would pick about what they're seeing. The researchers are using the brand data to become this translator of the subject. And this has successfully used brain activity to accurately describe events from the videos, meaning it works. They're doing this. So the stuff in your brain that drives you to pick a word, that's kind of what happens before the word, can actually be now read through these sophisticated artificial intelligence language models, hence mind reading. Now, this is a dazzling, actual, applicable type of technology that's here right now. Scientists see a potential to give a voice to the voiceless, like those paralyzed individuals I just mentioned. Others look down the road, especially at how fast this is going, and they see the prospect of a powerful and invasive technology here. And let's remember, I mentioned this earlier in the show, the power of mind reading has long been a sci-fi fascination, upending society to the idea that if you could read minds, the government would have huge tools of potential control, like that famous Tom Cruise movie, imagining a government that can solve and then prevent crimes by reading people's minds and plans in advance.
What's coming? Double homicide, one male, one female. Killer's male, white, 40s. Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route.
I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
All we have to run on are the images that they produce.
We see what they see.
There hasn't been a murder in 6 years. There's nothing wrong with the system. It is perfect. I agree.
We are arresting individuals who have broken no law.
But they will.
The fact that you prevented it from happening doesn't change the fact that it was going to happen.
That was a movie. But back here in reality, this new tech is already raising what we might call non-fiction questions. The New York Times proposing scenarios like a future where a private, unvoiced impression of your best friend's new partner could be seized. Someone could listen in on it without your consent or knowledge. Or as with those movies, a police state where authorities could eavesdrop on your mental state without your consent, as Vox put it. When you look, Zeke, at these breakthroughs, as mentioned, great promise for people in very tough individual situations, medical breakthroughs, but great concerns out there, especially with no rules or laws yet, about what else can happen. How do you view this?
Well, I'm actually a little pessimistic about it because I think we have great intentions to have therapeutic advances and to really help people. There's no doubt that's what's motivating this research. But we have seen a lot of big tech going and being out of our control. And by our control, I don't mean just Americans' control. I mean all of humanity's control.
One day, Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready, get ready.